Northwestern claimed its third straight regular season softball title on the final day of the regular season. Cats win over Indiana, helping NU fight off a Michigan team which had won 14 straight in late April and early May. That means NU will once again be the top seed in this week's Big Ten tournament, earning a first-round bye before opening up their postseason on Thursday in Iowa City. And it's time for the big interview as we are joined by Northwestern head coach Kate Drohan. Kate, 3 in a row is really impressive, but I'm struck by a different stat. In each of the last 2 years, your team has gone undefeated in Big Ten series play, haven't lost a single series. So what's the key to that level of consistency?
I think the key to that consistency is the depth of our pitching staff and how hard our team works over the course of that series to really understand how to make adjustments and understand how to be tough as you finish that final game on Sunday. But this has been a really fun team to coach, and they're really hungry to learn more, so we're excited.
Now, even with that level of consistency and the play and that pitching staff, it goes down to the final day of the regular season. You guys are doing what you're supposed to do, but then Michigan goes on this massive run, winning 14 straight. What was the team's mindset as it woke up on Sunday morning, kind of knowing what was at stake?
Well, our mindset going into the week was we needed to work on our game, on our approach, on what we were going to do as a team. And we try to keep as narrow a focus as we could and not really think about what was happening in Ann Arbor, because Michigan has been playing some really good softball. You know, they've been really, really tough and really consistent. So we really asked the team to focus on ourselves. Sunday morning, we met as a team. We did some video, and it was all about how we could just be as free and as physical as we could in the moment.
And did you see exactly that?
Yeah, I liked the way our team started the day. You know, with Indiana got a couple runs early. We were able to get one back. And just the way we competed was very much Northwestern softball on brand. I think our fans had a lot to do with it. And I think our team was just really focused on the moment, playing one pitch at a time.
And this is with a fairly young roster, at least in terms of classification and age. I know a lot of these sophomores and the first years as well have plenty of experience at this point in the season. But I want to start with those sophomores. And one of the 3, Kansas Robinson, she's your team leader in most offensive categories. How have you seen her evolve and grow over the last couple of years to become one of the most dangerous offensive players, not just in this conference, but maybe in the country?
She's really dynamic. You know, she hits for power. She's got great plate coverage. But what we saw, especially towards the middle of the Big Ten season, was she was playing a really unselfish brand of softball. So when they wanted to pitch around her and nibble, she would take the walk. And that just generated a lot of bases. And in turn, Kelsey Nader then stepped up and had a monster Big Ten season. And the combination of the two of them at the top of the order really set the tone for us.
Yeah, Kelsey, also a sophomore, typically hits right behind Kansas in that number 2 hole. What does it do for the rest of your offense, those who bat behind Angela Zidak, Hannah Katie, Emma Ray, and others, to have those 2 at the top of the lineup specifically?
Well, it's great. And also their personality around the game. You know, they're really fiery, very emotional players. So our team loves that. But what it does is it simplifies the game for everyone else. So no one in our lineup really feels like they have to do it, or even that they have to do it on their own. So that's the kind of approach that I think really makes our lineup and our offense go right now. But I'll tell you, their specific development, you put Bridget Donahue in that category as well, especially Bridget's defense. She's been so tough with a lot of drop ball pitchers on the mound. Our staff worked really hard on their development, and Carol and Tony and Michelle, everyone in our staff, just from the very beginning of the fall, they're like, okay, what can we do each day to just get them a little bit tougher, a little bit better, work on their backhand. So their focus was really narrow, and the impact that had on the development of their complete game really showed here late in the season.
So that sophomore class is outstanding. You have 8 first years, and I want to focus on Emma Ray because this is a rarity. You very rarely see a first-year player, especially at that position at catcher, be so consistent, and she has started all but 1 game, I believe, at that spot throughout the course of the year. She's been phenomenal defensively. She's been really good offensively. How impressed have you been, and what maybe, if anything, has surprised you at this point in your career about what she's been able to do?
Oh man, so Emma Ray, her consistency and her ability to play that position with such physicality, which is so demanding, especially with, again, like I said, so many drop ball pitchers on the mound. She's been so tough. And then to have the offensive production that she's had, the way she's controlled the run game for opponents, just so many different elements of her game that really it's rare to see that in a freshman with that kind of poise. But I think Emma Ray's superpower is the joy she plays the game with. She loves winning. She loves it when her teammates have success. And when you have that kind of player behind the plate, it really elevates the play of every single person in our dugout.
I love that. Does everybody on your team have a superpower?
Yes, everyone has a superpower, and that's what I think is really remarkable about our team this year. Everyone is in charge of winning, and I think the person who I have to talk about the most is Lauren Boyd, who is our, on paper, our best returning pitcher, who's redshirting this year, and the impact that she's had on our game, the impact she's had on her teammates, has just been really something I've never seen before. It's been really, really amazing.
Yeah, and so with Lauren redshirting, obviously there was a hole to fill inside the circle. In steps Ashley Miller, who has done more than that. I mean, she's been lights out, leading the team, leading the conference in almost every major statistical pitching category. Her opponent's batting average is almost the exact same as Danielle Williams's was when she won All-American honors in 2019. Can you describe in a short segment here what exactly she's meant to your team this year?
She's been awesome, and the team embraced her from the beginning. She's an incredible student, really great success at Kellogg. But she's just pounded the strike zone, and the way she's fed our defense, the way she's approached her game and how she's prepared for games, it's been really great. It's been really fun to coach her and to see her success. But our team just loves playing behind her.
This is the first three-peat for the program in 35 years. I think we're about the same vintage. So you, like me, the last time that happened, 87, we were probably like middle school-ish. What's it like now? Because you're going to be talked about in the same vein as the legendary Sharon Drysdale, who was the coach of that team when they won 3 in a row.
Well, we've heard from a lot of players who are on those teams, and they feel great pride in us doing that again. So we're just so blessed. We had Drysdale at the field this weekend. The connection over this 40-year span and the support and the mentoring that we have from our players and Drysdale with me, I think it's a real strength within our program.
What about those expectations, Kate? Because now I think every year, every season, people expect Northwestern to be at the top of the regular season. They expect you guys to be part of the Women's College World Series. That's a good thing, but it obviously adds some pressure as well, does it not?
Well, what I think you want those expectations, right? You want to build a program that has those kinds of standards. And I think it's our job as coaches to simply take it one day at a time and how can we get a little bit better. And I think that's really the story of this team. We preached patience really early on. We preached the process, and we knew, and we gave this team permission to have their own identity. And there were a lot of questions coming into the year, but I think they did a great job of saying, hey, this is how we're going to play. Here are the unique characteristics of this year's team. And I think that allowed them to step on the field with an awful lot of confidence.
So the expectations now heading into the Big Ten tournament, and I know you believe this, are that you will face, regardless of who you face on the run that you hope to make, they're going to be really quality teams. You could face the Indiana team you just saw at the end of the regular season. We already discussed Michigan. Nebraska's been solid. Rutgers has had a tremendous year. What do you think about this bracket, and what are you expecting from the quality of play in Iowa City?
Oh, I think it's going to be really tough. I think it's going to be really competitive. You mentioned Rutgers. I just think their offensive punch is really good, and same with Nebraska. So what we're saying to our team is just one game at a time, and really focusing on making our game a little bit stronger. And regardless of our opponent, we just have to go out there and play our best ball.
Kate Drohan and the Wildcats set to take on either Purdue or Indiana second round of the Big Ten tournament. Northwestern gets its postseason started on Thursday after a Wednesday first-round bye. Kate, as always, we appreciate the time. Congrats on the regular season championship, and best of luck to you and the team in the tourney.
Thanks, Rick. Go Cats.